Hi everyone. I thought today we'd do something a little bit different because we've talked a lot about up until now about the types of emotional support that we can do for ourselves, the way to stop our thought viruses, breaking those cycles of negative loopings, and how to bring ourselves back down from being triggered. But what we haven't spoken about, and this is another deep passion of mine, is food and how nutrients, nutrition can really help us during this time too. My favourite mantra is eat today for how you want to feel tomorrow. So if you're feeling like rubbish today, have a look at what you were eating yesterday, and it might give you a clue and to especially if you're highly sensitive as to how your body is reacting. Also, before we go into my top 8 foods that everyone should be including to some degree at the moment to support yourselves, I just want to create a little bit of a caveat. Now, I'm not a big fan of creating categories of people. That doesn't feel good to me. That's not the way I like to work. However, when I've been working with my clients over the last 5 years, I've really noticed some differences between two main types of people. And the first is somebody whose energy is high, and maybe you're somebody who feels energetically like you're up here, up in the heavens, maybe up all the way up here a lot of the time. Maybe you feel like you have trouble grounding yourself energetically. Maybe you feel like you're floating around quite a lot, or just up here a lot. And then we've got the other types of people who are down by the ground, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're more grounded or anything like that. It just means that energetically it feels a bit heavier. You're more slower perhaps. Your digestion is slower. It's just a completely different way of relating to yourself and to the world, right? And we need all types of people, obviously. I'm one of the more grounded, more rooted people. That doesn't mean that I haven't suffered with lots of negative looping thoughts over the years. It's just an energy type. And these energy types are really interesting when it comes to food, because what we want to do is create sort of a harmony, a meeting in the middle. And that really relaxes your central nervous system and your gut health. It makes you feel more comfortable in your body and in your skin. So what I would be looking at the moment is, if you're somebody, and you'll resonate with this if it's if you're somebody that spends a lot of time up here, then I would be encouraging you to eat a lot more root vegetables, especially at this time, because it accentuates. So somebody who is up here a lot, when you're triggered and stressed and emotional, it means you're going to go even higher. It's going to be even harder for you to feel like you're grounded. And the other way, somebody like me who is very much in the earth, when I get stressed, I feel heavy. I feel much heavier. It's much harder for me to get moving. And in fact, sometimes it feels like I just come to an absolute stop. So for somebody who's up here a lot, then I would be looking at root vegetables. I would be looking at something that is hearty, something that, with all of those, think about the roots, all of those deep roots that help you ground yourself down. And add those in 2 to 3 times a day. You can mix them in with pretty much everything from soups to stews. This is a great time of year to be using food like that to support ourselves. And then if you're somebody more grounded, more on that down base, earthy type, then I would be looking at things like tropical fruit, mangoes, apples, pears, bananas, things that are high up in the trees, So what you're doing is energetically bringing yourself back up again. And for all of us who are overthinkers, all of us who spend a lot of time in our heads, we need glucose, and we will be craving and reaching for either numbing foods or just sugar. And the easiest and the most satisfying initially, so short-term satisfying, is refined sugar, chocolate, things like that. But it's cocaine hit to the brain. It robs Peter to pay Paul. So you might have this massive high, but then you'll have a massive low, and then you're constantly chasing this high feeling and creating an imbalance in your emotional health as well, which we want to avoid. So I want you to be thinking about long-term sugar health, glucose health. So for all of us, potatoes and sweet potatoes and root vegetables are full of fibre and glucose, just like fruit is full of fibre, glucose and living water, which is very much what our cells need now more than any time. And what's beautiful is all of these things really do contribute to a strong immune system. Every single thing that I'm going to share with you today helps that adrenaline in the body calm down, come back into more calm space. And when you do that, your immune system gets stronger, your health gets more resilient as well. And so does your emotional health too. It's all linked, right? It's all linked. We've talked about that before. You can't have a thought without it having a physical impact. And so we want to be helping all four aspects of our bodies, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, all of them as much as possible. So let's talk about the physical now. I've got 8 foods that all of you will benefit from. The first is apples. And apples is great this time of year because they're abundant. It is in England, if you're in England, it is one of those things that is really around a lot more at the moment. They're anti-inflammatory and they are, all of the foods I'm going to talk to you about today are brain food, but apples are really helpful for anti-inflammatory and they're really good brain food and excellent for gut health, unless of course you've got chronic SIBO or anything like that and you're on a FODMAP diet. We can talk about that, but there's other ones on this list that you can use if that relates to you, that are still going to help you positively. So apples, number 1. Number 2, bananas are full of trace minerals, and they've had a really bad rap over the years about having too much sugar. But I tell you what, if you are eating a banana, 1, 2, 3 bananas a day, if you like bananas, then you will be getting not only help with the trace minerals, but they will be helping your neurotransmitters, those brain, the firing in your brain that needs to be clean and crisp for it to be functioning properly. And like I say, bananas have had such a bad rap over the years of having too much sugar. But hey, if you're eating a whole load of refined sugar every day and you're filling yourself up with alcohol or anything like that, then you know this is fine. It's fine. So berries are excellent antioxidants. They're really powerful antioxidant. They really stop the excess of adrenaline, which is exactly what we need right now. I use wild blueberry powder. You can find it on my website under shop, and just stick it in your smoothies and porridge. Brilliant. Number 3, no, that was number 3. Number 4, dates, really important for supporting your adrenal glands, really critical. Glucose with that fiber for those of us who are highly sensitive and need we get cravings, right, especially when you're overthinking, when you need something to satisfy those cravings. Dates are amazing. So I've just written a list here so I don't forget. Number 5, mangoes. Full of phytochemicals, and the amino acids in the mango plus the glucose is incredible for your neurotransmitters. This is all about brain health. Mango's really good for calming down your central nervous system before bed too, getting you into that sleep state. Banana, mango, have your breakfast for dinner, you know, oats, mango, banana, amazing before bed to get you in, getting that tryptophan, getting those sleep chemicals ready for you to go to bed. Number 6, sweet potatoes deeply helps the stomach. okay, and your central nervous system. So calming the stomach down, especially if you're somebody who's up here and it affects your gut and it feels on edge all the time, then sweet potatoes are really, really good. In fact, especially if you're somebody who's dealing with a viral load of any kind, or if you're feeling on edge, then sweet potatoes are important. Number 7, lemon balm tea is amazing. Lemon balm, not lemongrass. Lemon balm is a herb, and it is aimed to, it's just incredible, but it specifically targets your nerve cells, your nerve endings. And what it does with the nerve endings is it just calms it all down. So the nerves in your stomach, the nerves in your body. So if you're somebody who feels on edge, you're finding sleep an issue as well, taking some lemon balm tea before bed is really good. There's I think there's a clipper one with lemon balm and chamomile and all that kind of stuff in it, so go and check that out. That's one of my favorites. I'll put a post in after this and share the one that I use. High in trace minerals. In fact, all of these are high in trace minerals, and I absolutely love them. So if there were 7 foods that I would be using every single day at the moment, it would be these 7. Please, and they're super easy, right? They are abundant at the moment. You can find them pretty much everywhere. The only caveat I would say is make sure your wild blueberries are organic. That's why I only use the wild blueberry powder. Like I say, you can get that on my website. I only use that one because all of the other ones, and getting berries at this time of year is tough. Stay away from non-organic berries. They are little toxic bombs full of pesticides. Just stay away from them. Apples, ideally organic too. They are sprayed to an inch of their lives. They are just wrapped in like wax to keep them looking shiny and crisp. Get organic ones of those too. But everything else, just eat abundantly. Like make them part of your lunch and your dinner and breakfast and your smoothies and your snacks and all that kind of stuff. And I'd love to see you share some of your recipes and ideas. That would be awesome. So number 8. Number 8 is something that I've been using. It's not really a food, but it is something that I've been using every single day, especially since lockdown. And that is ceremonial cacao. Now, this is a big thing at the moment. I'm not going to go into it now. I'll do another video on that another time, but there's a lot to be said about ceremonial cacao. It's kind of all the rage at the moment. And I'm not into fads. I'm not into things that people are into, you know, like, well, I'll talk about that another time, but I want something to make me feel good, something to help me reinforce the things I'm trying to achieve and give me space and the ability to show up and be me in the healthiest way. And cacao, definitely this type of cacao, and you can get that. I'll put a link in the notes next after this video, is this special kind that I use, and it is full of magnesium, iron and chromium and antioxidants, and all of those help with the neurotransmitters. They help with calming the body, they help with keeping the heart open, and they help us just feel like we've got some more energy to do the things that we need to do every day. I don't drink coffee. This is by far the most calm and natural and wonderful thing that I add into my daily practice, and I use it as part of a ceremony, and it really is special to me. So that's it. Those are my 8 foods that I would be using that I am using every single day at the moment, that I really recommend you add into your diets too. Let me know how you're getting on. Please leave me a message. Tell me which ones you're using. Tag me in your photos if you're sharing them on Instagram. I would love to hear. In the meantime, take care. Have a lovely day. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.